Hi, welcome to the Mangomint Feature Spotlight today. Hello. Well, thank you so much for joining. My name is Abby. I'm on the product marketing team. Super excited to have you all here today. So today I'm actually going to show you how to use service customizations to create personalized and customized hair salon services. So obviously, this webinar is definitely going to be really tailored to hair salons specifically. But, if any of you are joining today, even if you're offering other types of services, you're working in a different type of business, maybe you offer massages, you work in a spa, things like that, you can definitely still pick up a lot of great tips about how to use service customizations in your, whether it's a hair salon, a spa, etc. But definitely we'll be focusing the use cases on hair salons today, which I'm really excited about. As usual, throw your questions in the chat if you have any as we're going through it. And then, of course, any questions that we don't get to during the webinar, I'll make sure that we follow up with you one-on-one to get your questions answered. All right, well, I'm super excited to dive into it today. So let's just go ahead and dive in. I'm going to start sharing my screen so that you all can see the Mangomint app. So let me go ahead and start doing that now. Okay, and I'm sharing my screen. Again, let me know if any of you cannot see that. All right, so before we kind of dive into building different services with different customizations, just a really quick recap of what is service customizations. What are we talking about? So when you're using service customizations, these are going to allow you to sell optional add-ons for your services. They're going to let you allow clients to fully personalize their appointments and create a really luxurious experience for your clients. And it also lets you collect information about service preferences. So those are just kind of a few, major reasons of why you'd want to introduce service customizations into your hair salon. There's so many ways, as you guys will see as we go through this webinar. They're super flexible, tons of different ways that you guys can be using these. And really today, what I'm going to show you is I'm actually going to show you how to build a customized hair service from the ground up using our service customizations. And then I'm also going to show you some other examples of other customizations that we already set up previously to give you additional ideas for how you can implement this in your hair salon. So first up, we're actually going to create a gender neutral haircut. We're going to make this from the ground up using our service customizations. And so I'm already here in the settings. The way I'll actually show you how to get to this. It's in services. So you would just go to settings and then click on services right here. And this is where you manage all of your services. And this is also where you're going to set up all of your service customizations. Now, I just mentioned that we're going to create a gender neutral haircut. So a lot of, I just want to point out why you would want to even consider doing this and setting up a gender neutral haircut instead of doing maybe the more traditional, women's cut, men's cut, etc. So I think that building and pricing the haircut around more relevant factors, such as things like your hair length, the hair type of the client, etc. Instead of gender alone, it's going to make your pricing more transparent to clients who are considering your services, because they're going to see that the pricing is actually based on, complexity, the skill involved, the different time involved for different types of hair and things like that. And it's going to more accurately reflect, all those different factors, whether it's time, skill, etc., required for the service. So that's just one reason why you'd want to consider building your services that way and offering more gender neutral pricing. And also another thing I want to point out here is that some states actually now have laws and different regulations that are against gender-based pricing in the beauty industry specifically. So they actually now have regulations saying that you cannot, set up your pricing solely based on gender. And so obviously recommend, legal tip here is you get the most up-to-date information on this by, consulting with legal professionals in your local area, just to make sure you have all the most accurate and up-to-date information for your specific state and city. But I do know that a couple of states that come to mind that I've heard are doing this are California and New York. There may be others as well. So definitely definitely do your research on that. But that's just another reason why you would want to consider offering more gender-based gender neutral services instead. And it also offers your clients a more inclusive experience as well. So all really good reasons to consider offering gender neutral services, and you can set that up with service customizations. So I'm going to now show you guys how to actually build our signature haircut. And again, we're going to build this from the ground up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm in my services screen. I have my haircuts services right here. And so I've actually previously created the signature haircut service. And so what we're going to do is just click on that. And so now we're just going to jump right in and create a fully customized gender neutral haircut. And really, I want you guys to take away from this as you're watching this. This is actually super fast and super easy to set up. So honestly, especially once you learn how to do this, you can set this up within minutes. It's very easy to do, so don't be intimidated by setting up service customizations. I'm going to show you guys just how easy it is to do. So all you guys need to do next is go ahead and click on customizations. And of course, if you want to follow along in your Mangomint account while we're doing this, definitely feel free to do that as well. So go ahead and click on customizations. And so this is now where we're going to create our first option group. And don't let that term scare you. You know, an option group is simply a collection of related customization options. So you can actually also use option groups across different services. They are meant to be shared across services, and I'll actually show you guys a bit later how you can do that. So we're going to go ahead and set up our first option group here. And so this is going to be an option group for hair length. So I'm just going to go ahead and click here on option group, add option group, and then I'm going to do create a new option group right here. Okay, so now we're creating our first option group. And so first you need to add a prompt for your clients. So for this one, I've actually prepared one that I'm just going to copy and paste into here just to keep it a little bit faster for you guys. So the prompt is going to be, what is your desired hair length? And then you can set up the group name. And so for the group name, we're just going to do hair length right there. And then we're going to go ahead and start setting up our different options for hair length. So all you do is click and you start adding options. Super easy. So the first one I'm going to add is super short. You can also show it in online booking ads. If you want to show it as a different name in online booking, you can definitely do that as well. This is also really helpful if, for example, you had a super long name. I'm going to erase that, but you know, if you had a super long name, it doesn't fit here in the option name field, you can definitely put that longer name there in this show in online booking as field. So just a little tip for you guys. And then you can add a description. And so I'll just say like hair is above the ear. And again, I'm doing these very fast just for the purposes of this demo. But when you're actually going through and setting up your descriptions, I want to recommend that you really be intentional about the descriptions that you're setting up here. So as you can see, the description will be visible to clients in online booking. And so I think it's really important to, you know, be clear and specific about what this particular option entails. Try to avoid industry jargon that your clients may not understand. You know, make it very simple, easy to understand, and also make it sound enticing. So especially if you're offering maybe a more premium enhancement, upsell, things like that, which I'll show you some of those, it's really important to make them sound enticing to clients. You know, use a little bit of marketing flair here and describe what they're going to get so that they'd be more likely to choose that customization option. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and continue adding these here. And so I'm going to go ahead and click add right there. And then we're just going to keep adding additional available options. So we'll just go here, and this one was going to be for short. So I'll just add a description here. We're going to say that your hair falls between your ears and your chin. Again, this is just going fast for demo purposes, but obviously, you know, you can play around with the descriptions. For this example too, we've seen some people, they might put actual inch measurements or things like that. You can use whatever will make the most sense to your clients. And then I'm going to go ahead and add that one. And then let's add one for medium now. And so for this one, we're just going to say your hair falls between your chin and your shoulders. And now for this one, this particular customization, we're going to go ahead and say that it increases the price by $15. So if you wanted to change the service price, for example, you have longer hair, it may take a bit more time, maybe it uses a bit more product, things like that. So there may be different reasons about why you would potentially want to increase the price a little bit as the hair length increases. So for this one, we're going to go ahead and just enable this toggle where it says this option changes the service price. So we're going to click that, and then we're just going to increase the price by $15. And then we're going to go ahead and click add. And there we go. That one's set up. Now we're going to add long as another option. And we're just going to say your hair falls below your shoulders. And then for this one, similar to the last one, we're going to go ahead and say that it changes the service duration and it changes the service price by a little bit. So for this one, we're going to change the service duration and we're going to have it add 15 minutes to the service time that's booked. So we're going to go ahead and choose 15 minutes. And then we're also going to change the service price. So we're going to click increases price and we're going to say $15. All right, and then that's all we need to do. Of course, there's advanced options here. If you wanted to set up commission deductions and do a pre or a post commission deduction, you could do that in the advanced options right there. But we're not going to use that for now. We're just going to keep this example simple. So we're going to go ahead and click add. And then there's one more I'm going to add, which is for extra long hair. So we'll say that that is for cases where the hair is below the mid back, so super long. Okay, so let's go ahead and choose that, and then we'll just add our description here. And then for this one, similar to the other couple here, we're going to actually change the service duration and change the price as well. So we're going to increase the duration by 15 minutes for this one. And then we're also going to change the service price. And for this one, we're going to add $20. Okay, and then there we go. So that's all we need to do for that one. Go ahead and add that. So now we have all of our different available options set up for this hair length option group. And so then we just need to finish out the settings. There's just a couple more choices we need to make here. You need to decide if it's required or optional, because this is kind of forming the base of our entire haircut example that we're doing here for this gender neutral haircut. We're definitely going to make this required. So we'll just click required right here. We're only going to let them select at most one option there. And then also we have some more advanced options down here. And so we do want to show the option price in online booking. We believe, at the Seven Lakes Salon and Spa, they prefer to have a bit more pricing transparency when it comes to these different customization options. So we are going to show the option prices in online booking, but you definitely don't have to show those if you don't want to. And then also there's a setting here that I definitely want to use as well, specifically because we have this hair length option set up as the first one to kind of build this haircut. So we're going to go ahead and toggle this option to show as base prices in online booking. And this is a really cool feature, especially for if you have a hair salon, and especially if you're doing something like this gender neutral haircut where you want to have the price, reflect the hair length and other factors like that. So this will have the combined price for the service plus the option will be displayed. So this is a really nice way to streamline the pricing as it shows, because it's going to take that base price and automatically combine it with those additional price increases that you guys saw. So just a nice way to clean up your online booking a little bit. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and save that. And there we go. So we've now saved our first option group for hair length. And again, that took us a couple minutes, but if you were going through this, once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to do it even faster. So next, we're going to set up another option group for hair type. And so we just go here, kind of rinse and repeat, do the same thing. So now we're going to click add an option group, and we're going to go and click that. And then we're just going to click create new option group. So this one will be for hair type. So for the prompt, I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to say, what is your primary hair type? So there we go. I have my prompt there. And then for the group name, we're going to keep it simple. We're just going to call it hair type. And now we're going to add 4 different available options for this. So we're going to go ahead and add the first one. It will be straight. Your hair is, and we'll just say type 1. You could put that. I would recommend though, like, as I said before, when you're actually building your descriptions to use in your online booking and things like that, make it more descriptive than just saying type 1. I'm just putting that purely for demo purposes, but I think it would be helpful for clients to actually explain what type 1, go into a little bit more detail about what that means. So this is just an example. So we'll just go ahead and put that. And then we're going to go ahead, and it's not going to have any modifications to the duration, service price, things like that. So we're just going to go ahead and click add. And then we're just going to go and add a couple more here. So the next one, we will say wavy. And we'll just say your hair is type 2. Again, I recommend putting more detail there when you actually go to do this. And then we'll just go ahead and add that one. And now we're going to add one for curly. There we go. Your hair is type 3. And then now for this one, because it's for curly hair, sometimes some hair salons, they typically may require a bit more time for curly hair. It typically often requires a bit more specialized, specific education for curly hair cutting techniques and things like that. And so for this one, because you are working with the 3-dimensional curl, for this one, we're going to go ahead and add 30 minutes to this customization option, and we're going to add an additional $30 upcharge for it. So I'm going to just click this option, changes the service duration, and we're going to increase the duration by 30 minutes. There we go. And then we're also going to change the service price. So just click on this, and we are going to increase the price by $30. And then something else that's really cool that you can do here, and this is something we've actually just released quite recently, so super excited about this. So you can actually now exclude some staff members from certain customizations if you want to. And so this is where you can kind of get really granular with your setup here and make it fit, your business setup the best. So what we're going to do is, let's say, for example, that we have Stella on our staff here. Let's say that, she hasn't taken advanced courses in curly hair cutting techniques. She prefers not to do curly hair and coiled hair, things like that. So we can actually just exclude her from this customization option. So just click there and then select the staff members to exclude. And then we're just going to click on Stella right here. So now Stella Prince is going to be excluded. And so this means that anytime anybody books an appointment that has either this curly option set up, or I'll show you in the next one, coils that we have, she will be excluded. So she will not be shown as an available stylist in the online booking. So that is a really neat little, additional feature that we've added recently in case you have certain staff members that, for whatever reason, do not perform certain customization options. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add that one, and then we're almost done here. We're just going to add one more for coils. And here we go. And then we'll just say your hair is type 4. And then for this one, similar to the last one, we are going to go ahead and add 30 minutes to the duration. And then we're also going to change the service price by $30. And then for this, we will also go ahead and exclude a staff member again. So we will exclude Stella. And of course, if you wanted to exclude additional staff members, you could definitely do that. Okay, so now we've added these different available options, super easy. And then we just need to finish up these settings just as we did before. So we are going to make these required. We can check out our advanced options. I'm going to just go ahead and leave those as they're already set up. And then we're just going to go ahead and save it. So now we've added our hair type option group. And then there's one more that we want to set up to kind of build out our gender neutral haircut here, our signature haircut. So one more here is we're going to click add an option group. And this time we're going to make an option group for post-cut styling. So just click create a new option group again. And then just go ahead and fill out the prompt and the group name. So the prompt, or actually the group name, is going to be styling. And then for the prompt, we're going to say, how would you like us to style your hair after the cut? So we'll just go ahead and add that in there. And just remember that the prompt, of course, will be visible in online booking. So kind of think through, be a little bit more intentional about how you want to phrase that. And then we have our group name here. It is styling. And then we're just going to add 4 different options here. So we'll just go through it. So the first one here is we're going to add one that says no styling is needed. And we can show it as online booking as no styling is needed. For the option name, we're just going to put none. And then of course you can have a description if you want to. We can say, I'll let my hair air dry naturally. And then for that one, we're not going to do any types of service duration changes or price changes on that because you're just letting the hair air dry naturally. Maybe somebody wants to choose that if they're in a rush and they just want to get out the door. So that is definitely a good option. All right, and then we'll just go through and add the other ones. So for this one, we'll do a smooth and sleek blowout. So we'll just do smooth there, and then we'll have a slightly nicer and longer description for the online booking. So I'm actually going to call it the smooth and sleek blowout. Again, you can have a little bit of fun with these. Kind of, as I said before, kind of insert that marketing flair. Think about a more fun way to maybe offer more branded names for options or things like that, or just something that's a little bit more creative as well. And so for this blowout, we're just going to go ahead and add 15 minutes to perform this. And then we are going to change the service price as well, and we're going to add $10 for this. All right. And then we're just going to add it, and we just have a couple more to add. So the next one, we're going to call it Beach Waves, and then we're going to call it Ready for the Beach. So it's a little bit more fun name and online booking. And then you could add a description there. For now, we just won't add anything. And then you can change the service duration. So for this one, we're going to add 15 minutes. And then we're also going to change the service price. So we're going to add an additional $10 to give the beachy waves at the end of the service. All right, go ahead and add that. And then we're going to add the last one. We're going to call it curls. And then we're going to show it in online booking as totally, can't spell here today, totally twisted curls. So a little bit more of a fun name there. And then we are going to change the service duration. So we're going to go ahead and add 20 minutes. So they'll need additional time at the end of the appointment for this option. And of course, in the description, you could even put things like, we'll use hot tools or iron work, or, finish under a hood dryer, whatever it may be. So feel free to put the description there, whatever makes sense for the option that you're putting there. And then we're also going to change the service price and increase it by $10. Okay, there we go. So now we have our different, post-cut styling, different options set up for this. And then for this one, we'll also make it required. So we're going to go ahead and click that. And then I'm also going to finish here and just check, see if we want to set up any of these advanced options. For this one, I do want to show the option prices and online booking. So we're just going to leave that. That is the default setting for that one. And we should be good to go on this one. So now I'm going to go ahead and just go here and click save. Okay, perfect. So we've now added our 3 different option groups, one for hair length, hair type, and for styling. So now we've kind of built out our entire signature haircut. And in a little bit, as we get close to wrapping up, I'll show you a preview of how all of this looks like in online booking. So those are just kind of some additional or some initial, I would say, option groups that you want to consider when you're building something like this, gender neutral haircut. But part of this webinar is we want to give you additional ideas for other types of service customizations to use in your hair salon. So I want to show you guys a few other examples of other customizations that we've already set up. So the next one, and I'm actually going to jump over here to the long cut, just to go through some of these other examples with you. So this next example is we're going to show you, a really cool way just to add optional enhancements and add-ons to your hair services. So this is, of course, one primary reason of why we wanted to build service customizations. We know that so many of our customers, you want to offer those different types of enhancements and add-ons to services. And when you do this, this is such a good way to increase the average sales price. And also it's going to give your clients a completely personalized and a really upscale experience as well. So really recommend that you consider adding enhancements into your services if you're not yet already. So what we've done here is we're just going to click on enhancements. This is the option group I've already set up. And then I just want to kind of show you guys how I set this up previously. So you can see here, we have the prompt for clients. How would you like to enhance your hair service today? Our group name is enhancements. And then we can go through here and you can see I've already set up all of these different available options. So we have a scalp massage, a deep repair mask, a scalp scrub, and Olaplex treatment as well. And if you click on these, you can see that I've kind of already filled out all the information here. I have, lots of detailed information in the description. The scalp massage, for example, it says, indulge in a 15-minute relaxing scalp massage, helps to condition hair follicles, encourage new growth, and increase blood circulation. So that's just one example of a description that you could have for that. Again, make it sound enticing so people are more likely to want to purchase that. And then as you can see, this one increases the duration by 15 minutes and it increases the price as well by $10. And then I can just go through, we have our deep repair mask. So again, here's our description. This one is going to increase the duration by 15 minutes and it's going to increase the price by $15 as well. And then we have like a scalp scrub. So again, going through this description, talking about rejuvenating, exfoliating your scalp, really make sure to talk about the benefits that this treatment or, whatever it may be, talk about the benefits and the end result that it's going to give clients and how it's going to improve their hair. And then as you can see, this one also increases the duration. But, if you ever have a customization option, you may have some, and I'll show you in a minute, you may have some that actually decrease the duration or decrease the price. So you can go there and just, we'll continue to go through these. And then you can see this one also increases the price. And then we also have this treatment as well, Olaplex treatment. So, we'll suggest the best treatment for your hair type. This one increases the duration by 30 minutes and it changes the service price by $40. So just some examples there to show you, these are just a few examples of enhancements and add-ons that you could add into your services, but obviously there's tons that you could be adding here. We have seen, some customers offer, 10 of these or something, or 15. So you definitely don't need to stop at 4 by any means. So this is how I've set all these up. I do want to point out as well for this enhancements group, instead of making it required, like we made all of the other option groups previously, this one is optional. We don't want to force anybody to be getting any of these types of enhancements. So this is optional and I am letting them select up to 4 though, if they really wanted all 4. That's probably unlikely, but I'm just going to go ahead and let people select up to 4. And for this one, I'm also going to show the duration changes. So I have that set up so that as clients are booking, they can see how it will adjust the duration of their appointment. So we'll go ahead and just save that again, just so you could see that one. And then I have a couple more to go through. So another one is you can also let your clients customize the communication during the appointment. And so this is a really fun one. So let me go ahead and click on this. So it says, what are your communication preferences during your appointment? How many of you guys, you've gone to the hair salon, maybe it was like right after work, you had a super hectic day, tons of meetings, for example, and, during your haircut, you really wanted to just relax and, you didn't want to make small talk with the stylist, things like that. Or you've just, probably more likely as you've gotten off your shift at work, you've already done a bunch of haircuts, for example, we're managing your, hair salon, and you just want to focus and relax. You don't want to make small talk. So, you're also in the chair and you don't want to really speak up and say anything because, you're trying to be polite. So there's not really a good way that feels like not very awkward to ask to have a silent appointment. Or like maybe you're totally on the opposite side of things and you're feeling super social and chatty and you want to chat it up with the stylist during your appointment. So with this customization, it's really easy to let your clients indicate their preferences in a really streamlined way during booking, in a way that's not awkward at all. So we have this new option group set up already called communication. And so we already have the prompt set up. What are your communication preferences? And then the group name is communication. And then I just have 4 different options here. So we have go with the flow, we'll interact with you based on your social cues. We also have a silent appointment. So again, that's the one, maybe you just got off your shift at another salon. You've already been helping a ton of clients, and you really just want to, when you're going for your own service, you really want to have a nice silent appointment and just relax and kind of zen out a bit. So you can set up that option as well. And then I have a couple more here, chatty, for example. So you're feeling social, let's chat about anything and everything. And then the last one, this is a really cool one. We've actually seen some of our customers are doing this, but you could also have an option that says something like educate me. And so you can see in the description, it says, please tell me about the hair cutting and coloring techniques that you're using throughout the appointment and educate me about how to care for and style my hair. So this is really cool. I know as a client, when I'm going for a hair service, I would have loved, to have this option when I go in to kind of get that education, find out what techniques they're using and get their tips about how to better care for my specific hair, from an expert. And I love this one as well, because when you use something like this educate me option, it's a really great way for the service provider to bring up relevant product recommendations in a really organic and natural way. So definitely a cool technique to kind of both educate your clients as well as find a way that's not intrusive, a nice way to bring in different retail recommendations and things like that. So I definitely think that that is a fun option to use. And for this one, that one is required, of course. And then we'll just go ahead, we can save that again. So that's a really cool one. There's 2 other ones that I want to go through. So the next one here is, a lot of you guys, you maybe have stylists that don't want to take on new clients. So for example, they're already set up. They already have a ton of repeat clients. Their calendar is already full, and they don't, want to take new clients on at this time. So we've actually, as I mentioned before, we've already released that setting, as I showed you before, where you can exclude a specific staff member. So you can actually also use that new setting to kind of handle this new client situation. So what we can do here is I've already set this up as an option group. The group name is new client, and it just says, are you a new or existing client? And then you have your available options. So for new client, if we click into that, it says new client. I'm a new client. I have not had any previous services at the 7 Lakes Hair Salon. And then what we have done here now is if they select that they're a new client, we are excluding some staff members. So let's say, for example, that Harriet and Jennifer, they do not want to take on new clients. So now we've selected them, and so they will be excluded whenever somebody comes in online booking and they say that they're a new client. So kind of a more creative use case for you guys. And then of course, existing client, this is not excluding any staff members. So that one is just, it's already set up, as you can see here. So I really like that example. Just another idea for how to use that new setting to exclude a staff member from a customization. And then the last one here, this is also a little bit more of a creative use case, but you can also use service customizations to handle something like a photo release. So this is also really nice. It's a great if you want to, get that photo or video release up front, directly during the booking in a really easy, streamlined way, especially if you're, at your hair salon, you're really working to build up your social media presence. You want to ensure that you have a strong portfolio of work and that you're able to showcase as many hair transformations as possible. I know when I'm looking for hair services, I'm always going directly, what does their Instagram look like? How many pictures do they have of the types of hair services that I would be interested in? And so the more, photo releases you can get from people as they're coming in for your services, that's just going to be so helpful as you continue to market yourself. So for this one, we've already set up this option group called photo release. And as you can see here, the prompt says, can we share your hair transformation on our social media channels and the 7 Lakes website for marketing purposes? And then we have that here. So that's the prompt. The group name is just photo release. And then you can see we've got 3 different available options already set up. So we have, yes, let's go viral. 7 Lakes may use photos of me for marketing purposes. And this is really fun because what we've done here is if we're allowing the photos to be used for marketing, we're actually going to give clients, a little bit of a reward for that. And so instead of increasing the price like we did on some of those other customization options, we're actually going to say that this option changes the service price and it's going to decrease the price by $5. So not a huge amount, but a nice little discount for clients and kind of help incentivize people, going ahead and being okay with sharing the photos on social media and things like that. So I think that that is a really fun one. And then this is a similar one. Yes, but hide the face. So please hide my face. You can, as long as you hide the face. And then this will also decrease the price by $5, as you can see here. And then this one is, of course, we want to give them the option to say, no, please do not share any of my photos. Definitely want to respect clients who want to do that. So we say, option name, no, privacy, please. I prefer privacy. And then you have the description, what that means. It means you may not use any photos or videos of me for marketing purposes. And then this one will just not change the price at all. So that is a really cool additional example of how you can use these service customizations. All right, so those are already set up. So now, just before we end, we're almost out of time here, but I do just want to go ahead and show you guys what all these look like in online booking now that we've built our signature haircut. So there's just a couple more things I want to do here. You can see here that all of these option groups are actually, right now, they're set up on our long cut, but we want to add them to the signature haircut. And so kind of bringing it full circle, as you guys recall in the beginning of the webinar, I mentioned that these option groups, they're meant to be shared across multiple services. And so it's super easy to do that. So now all you guys need to do is we go back to our signature haircut and we have the 3 option groups that we set up before. And then we're just going to go ahead and we want to add those other ones to the service as well, just so you guys can see what all this looks like in online booking. So all you do is click Add Option Group, and then this will let us select an existing option group. So instead of making a new one, the system is automatically going and it's looking at all the other option groups you've already created, and you can easily link them across the different services. So we're just going to go ahead, click on Enhancements, and it's really nice. It gives you this easy preview, especially helpful if you forgot, what exactly is in that particular option group. And then we're just going to go ahead and click Link this option group. So this is now linked to the signature haircut, and you can see them all right here. And then we're just going to go ahead and add the other ones here. So we'll add communication, link this option group, and we're also going to add the new client example, link that. And then we're also going to add the photo release. There we go. And link this option group. So there is quite a few. Obviously, when you're setting up your option groups for your different services, you may not have that many. This is quite a lot. This is more just for demonstration purposes, but just want to show you guys what that looks like. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you how this will look in online booking. So let me switch screens for a minute here. And then we'll just show you what everything looks like. Okay. So now I'm going to be sharing with you guys the online booking preview just to show you guys that. And so now what we can do here is we've just been editing the signature haircut. And so you can go right here, click on signature haircut, and now we can see all of our different option groups that we've set up. And so you can just see exactly what this looks like. So of course, the first one was the hair length. And as you can see, as you guys recall, we use that setting to show as base prices in online booking. So this is automatically taking the base price of this haircut, and then it's automatically adding in those additional upcharges that we used on the hair length option group. So you can see that looks really streamlined, really nice. And then of course, you can still see the other ones below. So then you can just go through it. You can see the hair type one that we added. So it just super easy. As you can see, if you're a client, how fast and easy it is to just click through each of these. And again, like I said before, this is for demo purposes. You may not have quite this many for your services, but just want to show you guys what these look like in online booking. And then how would you like us to style your hair? Goes through the different options here. It shows you the price differences. And then this is now the enhancements option group. So again, how would you like to enhance your hair services? You can see the price changes, as well as this one in particular, we did leave on the setting to show the duration changes as well. So you guys can kind of see the difference here. I wanted to compare and contrast. So you can decide which you like better. Maybe you only want to show the price changes, for example, but you don't want to show the duration changes. Maybe you think that looks a little bit cluttered with the duration changes or things like that. So you can definitely hide those if you want to. And then of course we have the communication preferences. So now we've got all of those and we have our really nice detailed descriptions here. So as I recommended before, definitely be intentional about those. Are you a new or existing client? Again, this one, if we selected new client, we would not be booking with a couple of those staff members that we chose previously to exclude. And then the last one here is, can we share your hair transformation? And you can see we are showing the price changes to kind of, so people can see that as they're booking. They'll see, oh, I'll get to save $5 if I choose one of those first two options. So now you can see all of those customizations that we've set up. So that is how we've set up our gender neutral signature haircut from the ground up. Super easy to do. And again, once you guys start setting up these customizations, you're going to see how fast it is to do that. And then you'll be able to easily link them across your services as well. So if you have a specific customization that you want to share across multiple services, it's super easy to do that. And of course, these are just some examples. Obviously, there's so many other use cases we could have gone into today. You can use this for things like hair coloring services, extensions, all types of different hair services. So definitely recommend starting to play around with this and let us know if you have any questions about it. All right. Oh, and I do see we do have a great question from Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie, for asking this question. So Stephanie is asking, is there a way to easily add already made customizations to all services? So not at one time. So there's not like a one-click button to add them to all services at one time. However, it's super fast to go through and add them to your different services. So that is a great question. Let us know if that's something you would be interested in at some point. Maybe something we could consider for the future. But at this time, you would just go through and just add them one by one to your services, but super easy to do that. So that is a great question. Okay, well, that will wrap up today's feature spotlight. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Really enjoyed going through service customizations for hair salons with you today. And definitely, if you have any additional questions about how to set up service customizations, whether it's for a hair salon or any other type of business, definitely reach out to us, chat with our support team, and also check out our Learning Center. All right, thanks so much, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.